And we'll be right back after this break.
You're watching Rogers TV St. John's. You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Out of the Fog. It's our first kick at the cat for 2022, and we're coming through. And as you know, I'm all about storytelling, and I'm all about hanging out with the cats who make it all look so good and so easy. Braeden, how are you doing?
I'm great, Donnie. Thank you for having me today.
Well, there's so many different introductions I can give you, so many different, terms. There's Braeden, there's their media, there's the work that you do with so many other people. So we'll go with Braeden today. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Wicked. I'm going to ask you a question that starts off the next, 10 minutes of hang here.
Yep.
Growing up, what attracted you to photography and video?
Well, I guess growing up, I've always had this weird perception of sort of my own life, and I've looked at things from almost a third person perspective throughout my whole life. And I think it's really interesting to look at life that way, because when you look back at old photos and videos of yourself, you see yourself evolve and grow. And I think it's really interesting to be able to create a career where you're almost taking that concept from other people's lives, because everyone thinks that way about their own lives, but to be able to take that concept and create a story from something that they've experienced, or an idea or a business or something that they've developed, and they don't really have the words to tell that story. Yeah. And I think it's really interesting to be able to create that myself and then give them something that meets their expectations onto what they experienced.
And I wonder if what we've watched in pop culture and in the media has shaped views like the ones that you have. It's like we're watching our lives evolve third person, or we're looking in on it, especially when you look at social media and channels in hindsight.
Yeah.
And the life we've lived.
It has really inspired me, and like you said, watching pop culture and different movies growing up. I've always been just a very hardcore movie person, and then the way I watch movies, I feel is a little bit different. Now I watch movies and I pretend I'm the director and I'm doing the final cut and stuff like that. But the way I look at movies, and I'll get addicted to watching a certain character play different roles, like a certain actor or an actress.
So who do you love?
I like Brad Pitt's personas in different movies. I feel like I can really relate to him. But that's sort of why I've adapted to what you said, how I have a lot of different personas with my prints and with my behind the scenes kind of gram and with the business and everything like that, because I feel like I can fit multiple roles in this space. It doesn't just have to be one particular personality. You can do a lot of different things because it attracts a lot of different audiences, and you can help more people do different things, right?
I think it's so cool, and I think that's a way of thinking that if you're sort of in the millennial group, or you are a innovative thinker, then you're able to get there. Yeah. The idea that you have how many different channels that promote the different aspects of your creativity, was it 3 or 4?
6, yeah.
But who's counting?
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing to me, and yet it's so strategically valuable to your career as a creator, is that so many different groups can find you based on the different talents that you love. Let's talk about photography first.
Sure.
What got you in there? And by the way, let's also weave in where folks can find you under the umbrella of photography, because the work you do is so sick, blows my mind and blows so many other minds every time we see it. So what got you into that groove of taking photos?
For me, I think it was just the way I look at my surroundings, I think, is a lot different than most people. And I think that what I've really focused on, even before I was into photography or anything like that, I knew that I looked at things a little bit differently, and not from more so a storytelling perspective, but I was always looking at the details of my surroundings and stuff like that, rather than a larger picture. And I found when people are looking, living every day, you don't really see these things on a daily basis, right? And that was something that I really wanted to capture. And for a long time I did that, but I never really had that confidence to put it out there because I didn't think people would understand. But then when you add storytelling on top of that, and you give people an understanding of what you're trying to represent, people start to see the details and things, and it's really interesting. I've had a lot of people message me and say, this is incredible, I see this every day, but I've never saw it from this perspective. And that's something that's been big with me, is my perspective on things, and I think that's something that has kind of made a name for me in town here.
I love that. And yes, we can go online and we'll talk about the gram. And what is the channel where people can see the different photography pieces you do?
On Instagram, it's just my first name, Braeden. If you can manage to spell it right, then it'll just be my first name, and you'll find all my photographs there.
A before E, except after C. Is that the rule? I don't know. And now let's like foray, because still photography, such an art form, and you can get his work anywhere. Check it out. But now we're going to move into your, we'll say the mask or the persona under making video, which is really where a lot of your creative talent and people are seeking you out so
100%.
hardcore for that. Now, what drives your passion in that arena?
I think it's just like the ability to be able to tell someone else's story when they don't have the words to tell it, but they know that they've done something incredible and they're passionate about something. And these are the people that I like to surround myself with anyway, because they bring out the best in me. They bring out, my real personality of who I am. And to be able to listen to these people, not even in front of the camera, like they always tell me these stories that they have and everything, and I'm listening to them talk about like it's really inspiring, like amazing things. And when they give me the responsibility to be able to create that visually, exactly the way they picture it, it's an incredible and rewarding feeling to finish that product and have the world see it. So,
I mean, there's so many different projects we can talk about. Why don't you just think about a couple that you're really proud of that you have worked on recently? What comes to mind?
Well, the new show, The Wall Show, coming to NTV. So this is something that, me and Mike have been discussing for over 2 years. I think 2 years ago I started working with him with his podcast, just literally doing like social media promotion and stuff like that, and I never really thought it would be anything bigger, and I guess he didn't either at the time. But as we kind of grew and he saw my level of content grow, and I saw him kind of just really diving into the podcast, we kind of came together on that. So I'm going to be directing that TV series and editing the TV series, and that's something that's sort of out of my, I wouldn't say comfort zone, because I really do feel comfortable in the space, but it's definitely out of my scope. It'll be a first for me, and I'm really looking forward to working on that. And I think the finished result is really going to be a rewarding experience.
Oh my God. What do they say about the comfort zone? It's really comfortable. Nothing ever grows there.
Yeah.
I think that's what we love about that, right? And so pushing yourself into those, new types of project scopes, there's a lot of travel involved,
Big time.
a lot of documenting Mike's story and the people he meets. And I think the idea of creating content around making wellness accessible in this province is a very important subject. Don't you agree?
100%, and it's an important topic to me too. Like, people look at me and they just think like photographer and creator, but there's so much that comes along with that as well, especially when you need to kind of have that courage to step out of your comfort zone and face humility about your work and everything like that. And there's a lot of mental health that goes along with that, like different aspects. So like the project itself is something that's really I'm passionate about as well, and I think that's really important when you're working on big projects like this. Like, you need to be focused on it in a personal way rather than a professional way. And that's something that me and Mike definitely have on this project, so I'm looking forward to that.
But then you said a few months ago, peace, I'm just gonna hop on a plane and get out of here for several months. And so you and your buddy went a little Euro trip. I want you to tell me all about what inspired that and the gifts that trip gave you.
I think the inspiration behind it was really, we worked, like me and my friend, we worked really hard last year. We work in kind of the same creative space, and we worked really hard last year, and we kind of got to a point where we were burning ourselves out a little bit, and we kind of forgot. It happens sometimes, like you forget kind of why you're doing it, and you're just like, okay, I'm doing it, but there's so much overwhelming work on top of it that you don't remember why you're actually doing it. It's because you love to do it. So I took a 2-month hiatus. I told all my clients, like, sorry, like I'm not going to be around for the next 2 months. I'm working on like a really special personal project, and that's exactly what it was. Part of it was vacationing, obviously relaxing, enjoying life, but a lot of it was producing content, and it's a lot of unseen content that I produced over there that hasn't been released at all, and a lot of it had to do with my print shop as well. So that's something that with my print shop, I've always had this like vision to create a shop that it doesn't have photos that really describe certain places, but it can allow like the viewer or whoever buys the prints to create their own memory or create their own story behind the print itself, right? It's more of a vague representation of details in life, and I figured what a better place to go than Europe, right, and travel around there. So I think we went to 13 or 14 countries and
like what are
had some really
about?
amazing, really amazing memories.
Like,
yeah.
what are you speaking on here right now? Like, I mean, I think it's so amazing. And following your adventures, you and Dog going all around, seeing all these places. I'm just like, creative courage, like, and that's what we talk about. And I love, that's a theme I run through a lot of what we talk about here on the show, is the amazing things people are doing every day and the courage it takes to commit to making those things happen. Because a lot of people like to talk it out, but who's walking it? And for you to get on a plane and go away as you did, and what did going away teach you and contribute to you as it pertains to the projects you're working on now that you're back?
It really just gave me a reminder to sort of step back and take my time. I find I rush into things a lot, sometimes like not knowing enough or you know, just not prepared. And that was something I did a lot last year because things were moving quick, right? And when someone sees that you're doing well or you're doing a lot, you know, they want a piece of it, and then and you're just dealing with too much at once. But I think Europe really taught me to just slow down a little bit more and just enjoy the details of life. And yeah, that's sort of what I've done since I got back. I kind of took December off as well, just because, you know, the holiday vibes were there. But now, just coming into January, I feel super refreshed with everything, super organized, and only putting enough on my plate that I can actually handle. Which is it's a big plate
That's
right now.
a big plate.
It's a big plate right now, but yeah.
Bite off more than you can chew and then chew it. Dale Carnegie said that. I love that expression so much. So we're in the final minute, really.
Okay.
And so, you know, there's many different sort of facets of Braeden, the creative amazingness. What are you looking forward to this year?
I'm working on a couple different really special projects this year, and a couple of them have to do with giving back. So like, you know, a couple years ago, going through that whole process, I didn't really have that many people to like mentor me until I found the right people, and I had to go out and do that myself. And a lot of people aren't comfortable with that, and they can't find the resources online, or they feel like they're too humiliated by their work to release it. So I really want to create you know, like courses online for people who can watch and learn and do the exact same steps that I did, because there's a lot of people out there, whether they're doing photo or video or whatever, they're trying to master their craft, and it's a hard thing to do, especially when you want to go public about it or change careers like I did pretty much.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that's something I want to do this year, is just really focus on giving back to people who want to do the same thing.
Man, that's how we pay it forward. I love that. And that's where the success is.
100%.
It's what you give back, not what you take, you know?
Absolutely.
Their media, Breaden King, he is one of the top makers that are going to be coming through in the years ahead. Check out his work online. Check him out. Do all the Instagram searches. You'll be blown away. Thank you so much for coming by the show.
Thank you for having me.
Will you come back?
Absolutely.
I love it. Guys, it's Out of the Fog. Right back after this break.
It all started when I racked up some serious debt. Interest payments were going up, creditors were calling. Janes and Noseworthy came up with a plan. Knowing that the phone was going to stop ringing and that I was not in this alone was a huge relief. Bankruptcy or a consumer proposal or whatever help you get is not the end. It's just the beginning. A chance to start again with knowledge and support and people in your corner. Are you ready? Get out of debt. It's okay.
Learn more about Leah's story at janesnoseworthy.ca.
Sometimes it's hard to say goodbye to an old friend. But when you're saying farewell to your vehicle, Kidney Car makes it fast and easy. Just call or visit our website. We'll take any vehicle in any condition and give you a tax receipt for a minimum of $300. No headaches and no towing charges. It's the one-stop solution for getting rid of your unwanted vehicle in just a few short minutes. When your vehicles reach the end of the road, call us toll-free or visit kidneycar.ca.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and I'm pumped to be hanging out with the one and only. If you look at his gram, it says half Egyptian, half salt beef bucket. It is Hady Ghoneim. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Good to see you. Thank you for having me here.
You too. I'm
Don-E.
so glad.
I'm so happy to have you.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because, you know, in this town, when you're moving, shaking out there, living life, you run into a whole bunch of people. And when you meet people who you know they got it going on and there's an energy around them, you're just like, who are these people? And meeting through some mutual amazing friends that we have. Steel Cut, we can't say enough about. We love her so much.
We do.
And now here we are sitting on the couch talking about the amazingness, because what I ended up learning about you from, not you because you're so humble.
Thank you so much.
But so many other people sing your praises on so many levels.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I honestly, since I came here, I've been nothing but blessed. I have met so many wonderful people, and people just helping and showing their kindness, and I've been so grateful to be here. I left my home country in 2017.
No way.
I'm from Egypt, yeah, and I left everyone I know, everyone I left behind, all my family, my friends, and I came here and I didn't know anybody here. But look at me now, 5 years from now, and what a wonderful journey it is. I have met so many beautiful people. I've impacted a lot of people's lives, and just gives me so much fulfillment and happiness in my life and my heart. You know?
I want to take you back. It's 2017.
Yeah.
Living that Egypt life, which
Yeah.
I have no idea what that even means, you know?
Yeah.
And you say to yourself, yeah, it's time to spread my wings, it's time to adventure.
Yeah.
Did you spin the globe and close your eyes and just go here? Like, what made you feel like Newfoundland, let alone Canada, was a place for you?
Yeah, so I actually got it through a friend of mine who told me about Memorial, but I was looking at different countries too, so who knows what I've ended up to. I was looking at Europe, and I was looking at, but then my friend told me about Canada. I was like, oh, Canada's pretty cool, you know, like we all like see in the movies and stuff how polite and nice the Canadians are and stuff. So I was like, you know, Canada's really cool, and he told me Newfoundland. I was like, what's that? Like, I didn't even know it. All I know about Canada was Toronto, like Montreal, all that stuff. But then when I looked at Newfoundland, it was beautiful, like so many beautiful pictures and stuff. I was like, that's a nice place to go to, right? So I applied and got my visa and stuff, and I left, in 2017, and it's just been a wild journey since then, man.
I can't imagine, man.
It's so nice.
You show up, you know, the weather system's very
So
different.
Yeah, so
right?
different. I've never seen snow in my life until I came here. So it was very different. But I embraced it. I love it.
Of course.
And as you know from my Instagram and stuff, I go do cold therapy.
Which is a whole other chat.
It is.
So, I'm gonna, guys, listen, buckle up. This is gonna be the fastest 10 minutes of your life right now. So, let's talk about your training, first of all.
Okay.
Because, Boss, what you don't know is that we're sitting next to a 5-time
National medalist.
national kickboxing wizard over there. What got you into the sport?
So I started training in general because I was getting bullied for my size back home. Yeah. So I was a little bit overweight and stuff, and I was getting bullied.
Sure.
And I've decided, I was like, you know, like that's enough. I want to train and I want to be able to protect myself.
Wow.
So I started doing that, and not only I lost a lot of weight, but I became really, really good at it. And I became like kind of the captain of my team and stuff back home when I was doing MMA and stuff. And
MMA, for everyone tuning in at home, that's martial arts.
Mixed
right?
martial arts,
Right.
yeah. So I've done that, and I just became that energy that, like, whatever I see bullying happens, I try to stop it and
that's
stuff. So I
trigger for
became
you
a
right now.
protector, right? So I really appreciate that about myself, right?
Wow.
A lot of people when they're around me, they feel really safe and very comfortable and stuff.
That's amazing.
So that's a blessing. So I started training MMA and kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing, all kind of martial arts, and I started competing back home. And when I came here in 2017, I didn't do much of martial arts training, but then I figured I was a champion back home. I can be a champion here too. So I started training, and I went to 8-limb Muay Thai, and I've, you know, like my coach opened his wings to me basically, and he told me, come on in, and he trained me, and in 1 year of training, I won nationals in Muay Thai in my division. So I've been, yeah.
Talk about the gift of helping someone to unlock confidence through physicality. What does that mean to you?
So part of what I do now is I do like training. I teach people, I personal train, and it's mostly kickboxing based or Muay Thai based. So I teach them martial arts versus the conventional like weight training.
Right.
And I find that with like a lot of people reach out to me, their kids may be getting bullied or they're like, you know, they're overweight or they're not confident and stuff. And it's just Muay Thai and kickboxing or any martial art is just a great outlet because as humans we have all these frustrations and angers and all these emotions inside of us, and we need an outlet for it, right? So what's better than, you know, beating the pads or kicking a bag, or just like you feel so amazing afterwards, the release of endorphins, and you feel your body is producing so much force that you're like, wow, I didn't even know that my body can do all that stuff, right? It's just a beautiful dance of hands and knees and elbows, and it's just a beautiful.
Is that how you approach it? Is that how you visualize that when you're doing your own practice or when you sort of entered into the sport itself? The finesse of movement and the intricacy of that becomes a bit of a dance.
In the beginning, it was all about that macho, like I want to lose weight, and like I was using,
Be tough,
yeah,
all this.
I was using anger as a fuel, and it
Interesting.
didn't really help me. It just kind of, maybe anger as a fuel will help you reach where you are, but it will drain you on the journey. But then when you reach there, it's like, is this what I really want? Is this what I really want? But when you shift your perspective on how you look at things, it just becomes this, okay, like I'm doing this because I'm very passionate about this and because I really like it, not because I want to prove something to someone or want validation or want to become this or want to become that, right?
You are giving yourself and everybody around you. To me, that's like a win-win scenario
100%,
for sure.
100%. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy that. It's my passion, honestly. Like, and I've been doing it for a while now. I've been doing it for a couple of years,
Sure.
and I love it. And
I mean, every time I
wouldn't
turn on the gram,
Yeah.
when I go in and
Me.
I see it's like you're training someone else that either
Yeah.
I don't know who they even are or I
Yeah.
know them all to bits.
Yeah.
And they are working it and they are smiling, every one of them.
It's amazing.
I mean, to me, it's just it's special, and I have to admit, you know, hanging out with you and knowing you, I'm still myself getting the courage to be like, yo, Hady, do you think we can like
Train.
go?
It is
you
very
know?
empowering. It is very empowering, especially for women, because a lot of women growing up, they don't do this kind of sports.
Sure.
You know, they get pushed into like doing ballerina or doing all this stuff. But like when they try this and they're like, wow, this is really empowering. I'm feeling really powerful in my body. I feel like I can protect myself. I feel like I'm not helpless and stuff. And that's what I used to feel back when
so
I was getting
interesting.
bullied.
How full
right?
circle.
So it is karma and positive energy. You know, what you throw into the world comes back to you, right? So.
May I ask,
Yeah.
you know, to leave family and friends, to travel so far, to live life, do you get home often, and especially in the last couple of years with
No.
the world pandemic moment?
No, I haven't seen my family in more than 3 years, and it's really affecting me. But like I'm very grateful. You know, all my family, I talk to them all every day on the phone, and they're very proud and very happy, you know, for me. And it's been a beautiful journey, honestly, and I can't wait to go see them and bring all my medals and stuff. You know, I've competed here in 4 national competitions. So in a year and a half, I went to 4 national competitions in Ontario, Alberta. I've won 5 national medals. I also competed provincially. So I've been just, you know, focusing on that, and it's been amazing, honestly, man.
And listen, you know, and notwithstanding, I'll throw this out, not that we'll dive into it because it's obviously sensitive work, but also the community work that you do is just another facet of what you do to make this place better.
Thank you.
All the people who will be watching our hang here over the months ahead on TV, online, etc. You know, we often here as Newfoundlanders forget how unique and how incredible and how fortunate we are, even in the worst of times,
You are.
to be where we are and to have what we
100%.
have.
100%.
What do you have to say to us as a province?
Well,
about
let
ourselves?
me say it this way. People's rights here are people's dreams in somewhere else, right? So in another countries, people's dreams are people's rights, basic human rights. So let me put it this way. And for the community, I've always wanted to give back, you know, because like as I told you, I've been nothing but blessed. People have been showing me so much love and respect, and I've always wanted to give back to the community. So as you said, like I do a little bit of community work. I work in a homeless shelter. I manage a homeless shelter, NGO homeless shelter, and to see all these different people and to deal with them, you actually sympathize with them.
Sure
and
you do.
you know, you in the beginning you have a judgment like mentality or whatever, but then when you actually deal with them and you see what they have been through, you sympathize and you understand why is the person doing this kind of behavior and stuff. You know, you understand the core problem, not just the symptoms of it, right?
Right.
So addictions and alcoholism and
All sorts
all
of
this stuff
struggles.
is just a symptom of a core trauma and like problem and stuff that we need to fix it, right? So we need to focus on mental health, and the first thing we have to do, I guess, is just like how to eat, like eating good,
Oh my God, that's a
fueling
whole
our
subject
body,
unto
right? Fueling our
itself.
body, fueling our mind, and training, exercising. That's all we need to do, right? That's
Well,
the
I'll tell
start.
you what, with people like you who are showing us ourselves in ways that are amazing, helping us to be stronger, more confident, more courage, and more appreciation.
Thank you.
So like, don't go anywhere. You
Thank
can
you
go
so
home
much.
to visit, but you got to come back.
I will come back. This is my home now too, right?
I love it.
I'm half Salt Beef, right? You gotta
You know
remember.
it, baby.
Half Salt Beef.
Listen, thank you so much. It's such
Thank
a
you so
pleasure to have
much.
you on the
Thank
show.
you so
I want
much.
you to come back and talk more about the
do.
great work you're doing for
100%.
so many. And guys, we'll have all the things up. If you want to reach out and get some special MMA training going on with our boy, we will give you the information to do just that, because he is someone who's going to unlock all sorts of gifts in you, and we're so glad to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
A pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Guys, it's Out of the Fog. We're going to wrap it after the break. We'll be right back. Guys, what can I tell you? I am hyped. From Creative Courage chats with Braeden and all the amazing work that he is going to continue to do to show us ourselves in new and interesting ways, to Hady and coming halfway around the world to appreciate and help us understand what we got going on right here, and the gifts he is giving us through the training he does and inspiring courage and courageous times of a different kind. We're very lucky to have the dynamic, amazing folks rolling through our province in this show. We'll see you guys next time.
If you have a comment about